The purple mist swirled around the edge of the crystal platform as Zara pressed her webbed feet closer to the deadly drop below. Her silver skin gleamed under the twin moons of Kepler Prime, and her large violet eyes reflected the despair that had been building for months. The energy bridge hummed beneath her as she prepared to take the final step that would end her suffering. 3 cycles had passed since the Great Purge, when the Dominion forces wiped out her entire colony. Her family, her friends, her beloved teacher Keith, all turned to ash in a single devastating attack. She was the sole survivor only because she had been off-world studying human behavior for her research thesis. Now she stood alone in the universe with nothing but memories and guilt. The wind picked up, carrying the scent of the flowering vines that grew along the platform walls. These same flowers had once filled her mother's garden back on Zerion 7, before the humans came, before everything changed, before her people learned that not all species in the galaxy wanted peace. Zara closed her eyes and remembered the final transmission from her home world. The screams, the explosions, the sight of her childhood city burning as enemy ships rained destruction. From above, she had tried to return but arrived too late to save anyone. The guilt of being away when her people needed her most had eaten away at her soul for 3 long cycles. Her research on humans had shown them to be violent and unpredictable, creatures who conquered worlds and enslaved other species. The reports from the outer colonies painted them as monsters who cared nothing for life beyond their own kind. They were the reason the Dominion had attacked, claiming that humans were spreading their influence too far into peaceful territories. The irony was not lost on her that she would die on a human research station, light years from home, surrounded by the very species that had indirectly caused her people's destruction. She had come here to complete her thesis, hoping that understanding humans better might help her find meaning in her loss. Instead, she had only found more evidence of their cruel nature. A soft footstep behind her made her fins flutter with alarm. She turned to see a young human woman approaching slowly. Her brown hair was pulled back in a simple style, and her green eyes showed genuine concern. Rather than the cold, calculating look Zara expected, this human seemed almost afraid. "Please don't do this," the woman said in accented galactic standard. "My name is Lisa and I work in the cultural exchange program. I know you have been through something terrible, but this is not the answer." Zara laughed bitterly. "You know nothing about what I have been through. Human, your kind destroys everything they touch, and now you want to save me. How amusing." Lisa stopped several feet away, keeping her hands visible. "I know your people were killed in the attack on Zerion 7. I know you blame humans for what happened, but you are wrong about us. We are not all the same. The Dominion attacked because of human expansion." Zara spat. "Your species spreads like a plague, consuming resources and pushing other races toward conflict. My people died because you exist." The human woman nodded slowly. "Yes, humans have done terrible things. We have made mistakes that cost innocent lives, but we have also done good. We have saved species from extinction. We have shared our technology and knowledge with others. We have stood against tyrants and oppressors." Zara felt her anger rising. Pretty words from a species that has been at war with itself for thousands of years. How can you speak of peace when your own history is written in blood? Lisa stepped closer, her voice gentle but firm. "Because we learned from our mistakes, we grew beyond our violent past. When we reached the stars, we decided to be better than we were. We are not the same species that destroyed our own world centuries ago." "The reports from the outer colonies tell a different story," Zara countered. "Your military forces have conquered dozens of worlds." "We have defended worlds from invasion," Lisa corrected. "We have fought against slavers and pirates. We have never taken a world that did not ask for our protection. The colonies you speak of requested human aid against the very forces that later attacked your home." Zara felt a flicker of doubt, but pushed it away. "Lies and propaganda. All species claim to fight for justice when they expand their territory." Lisa pulled out a small device and activated a holographic display. "These are the actual records from the Kepler Defense Initiative. Your people were offered protection 6 months before the attack. The Zerion Council refused, saying they preferred neutrality. The hologram showed official documents, communications, and battle reports that painted a very different picture than what Zara had believed. The Dominion forces had been moving through the sector, destroying any world that might potentially ally with humans. Her home had been targeted not because of human aggression, but because they refused to choose sides. Your people died because they believed neutrality would protect them, Lisa continued. But the Dominion does not accept neutrality. You are either with them or you are their enemy. Your leaders thought they could stay out of the conflict. Zara stared at the evidence, feeling her worldview crumbling. But the humans still caused this war by expanding. Too quickly. We expanded because we were fleeing our own destroyed home, Lisa said quietly. Earth is gone, Zara, destroyed by our own hand centuries ago. We learned from that mistake, and now we try to protect other worlds from suffering the same fate. The alien woman felt tears forming in her large eyes. If this is true, then my people died for nothing. They could have been saved. Lisa moved closer until she was within arm's reach. They died because evil exists in the universe, and sometimes good people suffer for it. But their deaths were not meaningless. They showed other worlds what happens when you try to ignore evil, hoping it will pass you by. How does that help me? Zara whispered. I am still alone. I still have nothing left. You have your life, Lisa said firmly. You have your knowledge and your skills. You have the ability to honor your people's memory by helping others avoid their fate. Join us. Help us protect other worlds from the Dominion. Zara looked down at the deadly, drop below, then back at the human woman. Why do you care what happens to me? I am nothing to your kind. Lisa smiled sadly. Because every life has value. Because my own grandmother was saved by an alien who cared enough to help a stranger. Because if we do not help each other, then the evil in this universe wins. For a long moment they stood in silence as Zara wrestled with her grief and her newfound doubts about everything she had believed. Finally, she stepped back from the edge and collapsed to her knees as sobs racked her slender frame. Lisa knelt beside her and gently placed a hand on her shoulder. It will hurt for a long time, but the pain will become bearable. You will find new purpose, new friends, maybe even new family. How can you be so sure? Zara asked through her tears. Because I was where you are now, Lisa replied. I lost my entire family in a Dominion raid 5 years ago. I wanted to give up. I wanted the pain to stop. But a Zarion scientist named Keth helped me find hope again. Zara looked up in shock. Keth was my teacher, my mentor. Lisa nodded. She spoke of you often, a brilliant student who was going to help bring peace between humans and Zarians. She believed you were going to change the galaxy for the better. Fresh. Tears flowed down Zara's silver cheeks, but these were different. They carried the weight of memory, but also the first spark of hope she had felt in months. She really said that. She did, Lisa confirmed. And she made me promise that if anything ever happened to her, I would find you and make sure you were safe. She said you were the future of interspecies cooperation. Zara slowly stood up and moved away from the platform edge. I do not know if I can be what she believed. You do not have to decide that today, Lisa said. Just decide to live, just decide to try, the rest will come in time. As they walked together toward the station, Zara felt the crushing weight of her grief begin to shift. It was still there and always would be, but now it was mixed with something else, purpose, hope. The possibility that her people's sacrifice might still mean something if she chose to honor their memory by living. The twin moons of Kepler Prime continued their eternal dance overhead, casting their light on two figures from different worlds who had found common ground in their shared loss and their determination to prevent others from suffering the same fate. Behind them, the crystal platform stood empty, no longer a place of ending, but a reminder that sometimes the darkest moments can become the beginning of something new.